This is Suzie Soule of Best Rock List interviewing Don Jamieson, comedian and host of that metal show. I listened to your CD, Hellbent for Laughter, and it was a great listen. Who would have thought that you would be talking about diapers and geometry in your newest CD?
Yes, I cover a lot of ground in it, and it's there's a lot of crazy stuff on there, and obviously, I talk about all my favorite bands that I love, and I poke a little fun at them. So, it's a little something for everybody in there. There's for metalheads and math majors alike.
There's also some pop music references in there too that are pretty funny. That they're interesting. So.
Well, I'm not. There's some bands that just naturally get a big laugh. I mean, if you just say Mumford and Sons, people laugh even if they don't know who that is. So, there's a couple bands out there that I'm I have one track mind in music. I only like hard rock and metal. So, it's no offense to any particular band, but anything that's not metal, I generally don't like.
So interestingly, in your CD, it seems like you have no fear to offend a lot of different ethnic groups, myself included. I'm half Korean, and then I'm half Scotch-Irish. So I was like...
Oh, wow. So I probably insulted you 2 or 3 times on the CD.
Yeah, not
just... But, in all fairness, the person who takes the beating the most on the CD is me. So, yeah, look, I'm a nightclub comic, and, it's just jokes, and people laugh at them, so it's all good.
So you're not worried about possibly offending someone because of what you say in your jokes?
No, this country is just now a bunch of tattletales and people pretending they're offended by everything, and with Twitter and Facebook and all that. That's just what the society's become. But the comedy stage is the last place that we have left to be able to make jokes and kid around about stuff, and nobody gets offended because it's just in good fun. We all laugh at ourselves. It's it's all right. It's nothing. There's nothing personal about it. It's just comedy. It's just for people who come out to comedy shows. They just want to have a good laugh, and they're not going to get worried about it. It's just everybody else who hears stuff and, oh, why did this guy say this? Or did you hear this guy said that? It's just, everyone's just a bunch of babies nowadays. It's just like everyone's got to relax. You listen to some comedy, and if it's your thing, great. If it's not, then you turn it off, just like music.
It is a lot like that, and I think your comedy style is a lot like metal in that respect. It's that it's brutally honest. It's just like there's no, sugarcoating or
Yeah, that's how it's got to be. I mean, that's what all our favorite bands. They wear their emotions and their lives on their sleeves through their music. That's how it is. And that's why a lot of my favorite bands are still around, and they're still making albums. Bands like Motorhead and Judas Priest has a new album out after 40 years. And,
yeah.
Just like all these bands have sort of they've worn everything on their sleeve. They've just always put it out there, and they've tried new things over the years, which is also important. To try new things, whether they succeed or fail. But that's always the mark of a great band. But in metal especially, these bands stay true to what they do, and that's why a lot of these bands are still kicking. After 30, 40 years. So it's and I love that. I'm the same way. I'm 47 years old. I am who I am. I wear jeans and a T-shirt. I've been wearing the same clothes since I was 11. I'm not going to start wearing a tuxedo tomorrow. That's not me.
Okay, so what bands are you listening to now? Are there some new bands out there that you're really liking?
There are. There's actually a lot. I mean, now's a really good time for metal. I just tweeted out some new friends that I made at Rock on the Range who I'm big fans of. King is one of those bands, the band King, K-Y.
Yeah, they were good. They were good.
Who are awesome. And another band called Crowbot.
Oh, I love Crowbot. When I saw them, they were fantastic. I'm a big fan now of Crowbot. I hadn't heard them before.
Yeah. So those are a couple of bands that are really getting a lot of buzz, and I've been able to check them out. And I'd say those two right now are probably my top favorites.
Okay, so how do you get your new music? I mean, obviously people send you stuff. Do you like to have like the CDs? Like a lot of delivery now is being done digitally, even with like publicists or sending stuff digitally. How do you get your new music?
Pretty much all those ways, but I've got a turntable for Christmas, so I'm actually buying vinyl again, which is so awesome because for people now, they didn't, kids now, they never got the experience of going to a record store and buying the vinyl, and so it was such a communal experience to do that. I mean, you meet other people there, and you look through the bins, and it's even just the packaging of the albums and stuff like that it's all exciting to me still, and I love that I'm buying vinyl again. So I just bought the new Clutch on vinyl. I just bought the new Pantera Far Beyond Driven vinyl that just came out with the original cover. So I'm getting stuff. I'm going back old school again. But even with the new stuff, a lot of new bands are putting their stuff out on vinyl too. So, but yeah, I mean, if I want to check something out and you send me a download, I'll definitely check it out that way. But I like the physical product.
I agree. I do too. I think that the industry is going back to that, especially metal, because people do like that experience of touching it and feeling it. And vinyl is making a huge comeback. More bands are putting out albums on vinyl, the limited edition and etc. So it's pretty exciting to see that.
Yeah, and the sound is a lot better for people who've never listened to LPs. I mean, especially some of the shorter albums like Slayer, Rain and Blood, like 29 minutes. So those are big, thick grooves on that album, and it sounds amazing. And now everybody tries to jam in 100 bonus tracks on every CD, and they compress it all the way down. So that's like it sounds not even recognizable to the band anymore, like the way they recorded it as to the way people are hearing it. So, but look, with metal, it's metalheads, and that's why that metal show has been successful. Is we seek out the stuff we like, and we'll take it however we can get it. So if I can't get something one way, I'll get it the other. Give me a bootleg cassette. I'll check it out if it's new, if it's something cool that's worthwhile. Just get it to me so I can see what's up with it.
Okay, so now I see that you are going on a live tour with Eddie Trunk and Jim Florentine. You're taking that metal show out on the road. What's the format going to be for that?
Well, yeah, Jim, Eddie, and I, we host that metal show on VH1 Classic, and we just finished up our 13th season. So thanks to everybody who's been supporting us and watching, because we continue to have life because of all the loyal fans of the show. But we got a little bit of a break this spring and the summer. We pretty much have off until we do some new episodes in the fall. So we said, hey, let's sort of do our little version of that metal show on the road live in clubs. So that's what we've been doing, and it's been really fun. I mean, we've been all over the country. We did Jersey, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Seattle, Portland. We even went to Mexico City, and it's kind of a loose version of what you'd see on that metal show, but it's kind of on steroids and Jack Daniels.
So there's definitely going to be a Stump the Trunk.
Oh yeah, you got we always end the night with a Stump the Trunk, and people line up all the way around the back of the club waiting to try to stump Eddie, and then if they can't get him, they go run back and get at the end of the line again and try to come up with another question. So that's a really fun part of the show.
I think a question too for a lot of the fans is, does Jennifer go out on tour with you?
No, we don't have. We're not lucky enough to bring Jennifer with us, but we always recruit somebody in every town that we go to. So you just don't have to look at us, our three ugly mugs the whole time.
Yeah, you might see about bringing her out. She would probably bring a different draw to the audience. So.
Yeah, well, we love her. We obviously she's been a great addition to the show, and we love working with her. And she's also she's an actress, and she does gigs when she's not. She does acting gigs when she's not on the show with us. So she's got a pretty good thing going for herself too.
So here's a question: if you couldn't do what you're doing now, which you have a great life. You get to go to shows, you get to host different shows, you're also hosting other shows, and so if you couldn't do that, what do you think your career would be? Just as a hypothetical.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a suit and a tie kind of guy. I could never get up and go to an office, so I don't know. I'm not handy. So I couldn't really do any kind of physical labor, or I couldn't be a mechanic or any of that stuff. So I have no other skills. This is it. I mean, it's either this or nothing. I think I don't really want to do anything else. So let me say it the best when they asked him, to what do you owe the longevity of Motorhead, and he just said we never quit. So if you never quit, they can't get rid of you. So that's my philosophy. I'm just going to keep doing this whether people want me to or not. And if I don't quit, they can't get rid of me. That's
true. That is absolutely true. So I asked you at Rock on the Range, and can we expect newer bands on that metal show? And you said that we've
been doing it a lot lately. I mean, especially the last few seasons. We had M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold on, and we have a thing called the Metal Modem where we Skype people in from around the world, and we've used that a lot of times to give people a little taste of some of the newer bands like Volbeat and Dillinger Escape Plan and Amon Amarth, and so we have been highlighting newer bands. Definitely, we had Jason Hook from Five Finger Death Punch play guitar on our show. So, it's still VH1 classic, so it's always going to be rooted in the classic bands. But, we can obviously, there's always room to expand and grow, and, we've been doing that more and more as the seasons have progressed, including we've also gone a little more the other way in terms of including some classic rock bands on the show, like Leslie West and Nick Jones from Foreigner. I mean, so we've sort of gone both ways with expanding out, the scope of the guests, which I think is great.
I think it's great too. I think it gives your audience a varied, to pick from different artists, and maybe introducing, newer, younger fans to the classic, and then also the older fans to the newer music. So it's great.
Yeah, because our fans know that we're, old school guys, that yes, 9 times out of 10 we'll put on a classic band when we're home listening to music. But, to put a stamp on, a Five Finger Death Punch or a Volbeat or something, that lets the viewers know, okay, well, these guys are old school, but they like this, so I should check it out too. Because look, all these new bands, that are making waves now were influenced by the classic bands. I mean, Avenged Sevenfold, had a wave of publicity about, them wearing their influences on their sleeve on the new album. But you know what? It's a #1 album, and it's a great album, and but it's totally influenced by old school bands, which is great.
Yeah, their new album especially, it sounds just like 70s and 80s metal. It's crazy. So, but
and those guys don't do the same thing on every album either. They always switch it up. And like I said, I really those are always the bands for me that will be in my collection, because I like when bands take chances and do different things every time. But yet you still know it's them.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. Your new CD, Hell Bent for Laughter, is out now. You guys are going on the road with that metal show. Tell me, what are your social media contacts?
Okay, yeah, I have a website, donjamieson.com, so you can, my tour dates and stuff are on there, and then at Real Don Jamieson on Twitter. So come tweet at me, and like you did, and find out all the interesting things that are going on in my life. Like I'm just about to go out and weed the yard.
Woo!
So you see fascinating things like that on my Twitter. That I'll be out weeding my yard today for a few hours. So if you're in Jersey and you want to come by and help me, it's pretty bad.
You know what? I don't think I can make it out there. I'm in the middle of the country. I'm in Normal, Illinois, so I don't think I'm going to make it out.
All right. Well, if you're ever out this way, I could use a hand. These weeds are really getting out of line.
I'll be sure to come out. I'll be sure.
All right, Suzie. Thanks so much. I really appreciate the support.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.